Who are some of the potential candidates that might be affected by Nigeria's long-standing but unwritten law of rotational presidency when it comes to presidential nominations ahead of Nigeria's 2027 elections? Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, Peter Gregory Obi, Rabiu Musa Kwanwaso, Barrister Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Dr. Bukola Saraki, and of course the Jagaban himself, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and more. These candidates might already be strategizing on how each will navigate the political hurdle of clenching the presidential ticket in their various political parties. But will there be another dramatic tug-of-war between Nigerian politicians of Northern Extraction and those of Southern Extraction with regards to the unwritten law of power rotation ahead of Nigeria's 2027 elections? And what if certain political parties decide to jettison this tradition to favor some of their preferred candidates as a strategy to win the 2027 elections? Welcome to Politics and Powerplay. In case you're new to this channel, make sure to click on the subscribe and notification buttons to receive robust and unbiased political commentary on Nigerian politics. Now let's dive in. Nigeria's rotational presidency, a political tradition where leadership alternates between the northern and southern regions of the country, is rooted in an effort to promote national unity and fairness in a diverse nation. This practice is seen by many as a tool for balancing the interests of Nigeria's various ethnic and regional groups. However, with the upcoming 2027 presidential election, the question arises, will political parties choose to honor this tradition, or will it be set aside? Let's take a closer look at what are both the potential benefits and pitfalls of rotational presidency, and how will a possible shift from this tradition impact key political figures such as Rabiu Musa Kwanwaso, Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and even the incumbent president under the ruling party, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Rotational presidency has long been celebrated as a mechanism for reducing tensions between Nigeria's northern and southern regions. In practice, it has given each region a sense of political inclusion. However, this tradition has been challenged several times, most notably in the 2011 election during the time of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. After the death of President Umar Musa Yar'Adua from the north, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, a southerner, assumed office. His subsequent bid for re-election was perceived as a deviation from the rotational agreement and sparking unrest in parts of the north. While his victory demonstrated a break from convention, it also showcased the volatility that could arise when the principle of rotation is disregarded. Yet, 2011 was not the only time rotational presidency was set aside. In 2019, former President Muhammadu Buhari, a northerner, sought a second term despite the South's expectation of having its turn. Buhari's win, while technically within the boundaries of constitutional allowance, stirred debates on whether Nigeria had moved past rotational norms or not. His victory also showed that while adherence to rotation may seem critical, electoral success can hinge more on a candidate's popularity and political strategy than their regional origin. This raises the question of whether 2027 will follow the same trend, especially since recent elections have shown that Nigerian voters are increasingly interested in issues and policies over regional affiliations. If rotational presidency is not strictly adhered to in 2027, key political players from both regions will need to navigate this landscape carefully. Rabiu Musa Kwanwaso, a northern political heavyweight, whose ambition could be challenged by this principle on one hand, might have his political rivals argue that his region has had its fair share of leadership, which might reduce his chances if rotation is prioritized. On the other hand, his strong grassroots support and influence in the north could compel certain political allies from the south to override regional considerations, making him a formidable candidate regardless of rotational expectations. Regardless, will Kwankwaso be able to clinch a presidential nomination without defecting from the NNPP or without a merger with some other political parties? Let's hear your opinion in the comment section below. Similarly, Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, another influential figure from the north, could face challenges if the tradition of rotation is adhered to, thus favoring the south in 2027. Ganduje's close alignment with northern interests might work against him if the south seeks to reclaim its turn. For Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, however, the major controversy will be whether President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC will be willing to position their campaign around issues of continuity and stability rather than prioritizing a rotational presidency. And will President Tinubu step aside for a more competent candidate? Again, let's hear your opinion in the comment section below. Now moving over to the south, political gladiators like Nyesom Wike and Peter Obi could see rotational presidency as a significant opportunity. Wike, being a vocal advocate for southern representation, might leverage the principle to bolster his candidacy. But this could also backfire if the electorate prioritizes ethnic and religious bias over regional allegiances and competence, as demonstrated by Nigeria's political history. And despite rotational presidency likely to favor the south, Wike's survival will be hinged on finding the right northern alliance. And this time, will the Tambuwal magic repeat itself, or will he find a loyal and formidable ally of Nothern Extraction? Again, Peter Gregory Obi, known for his growing appeal across regional lines, may also benefit from rotation, especially if he is able to win over stakeholders from the southwest and south-south. His political rivals of Northern Extraction may also find him an ideal and dependable candidate for a merger, especially considering his growing appeal. But will the divides of trust and loyalty be overcome by these men to allow him take the lead of a presidency? Finally, Atiku Abubakar, a long-standing politician from the north, presents a unique case. Atiku's candidacy would challenge rotational norms given his northern origin and previous bids for presidency. However, he has often been a contender irrespective of regional expectations, suggesting that he may still be able to mount a credible campaign in 2027. Should rotation not apply, Atiku could argue that his experience and track record supersedes regional concerns, though he might struggle against southern candidates who appeal to voters eager to see the south take a turn. Regardless, the potential departure from rotational presidency in 2027 is bound to influence the calculations of these political gladiators. Each candidate will likely weigh the pros and cons of campaigning either in line with or against rotational expectations. Ultimately, Nigeria's political landscape is evolving, and with increasing voter emphasis on performance and policies, 2027 may mark a shift towards a more issue-based rather than regionally driven electoral process. As the electorate continues to diversify its priorities, the relevance of rotational presidency will be put to test, with possible implications that extend far beyond the immediate election cycle. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to watch this video for another unbiased political commentary on Nigeria's future elections.